After 25 years as one of its most popular models, Toyota is completely flipping the script on the 2027 Highlander. Check it out now. For help finding your next ride, check out the GreenCars Buyer's Guide. We've got a whole range of tools to help you find just the right fuel-efficient vehicle for your needs. Check it out at greencars.com. Just over 25 years ago, Toyota introduced their first mid-size crossover and named it the Highlander. In the years following, it became one of Toyota's top-selling vehicles, both here in North America and globally, where it's often sold as the Kluger. Now, for 2027, there's an all-new Highlander coming, and it is something fundamentally different from every Highlander built before, fundamentally different from the 3.5 million Highlanders and Klugers that have been sold to date. And I'd like to bring in Tim Rippinger, Marketing Manager for the 2027 Toyota Highlander. Tim, welcome. Let's take a walk and give the audience an introduction to the 2027 Highlander. First of all, as I mentioned, this is a fundamentally different vehicle from every Highlander that's come before. And what's the big thing that's different about this one?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, I think completely redesigned from inside and out. And we have an all new platform, and moving forward, at least the 2027 Highlander is going to be all electric. So we're talking about a battery electric vehicle, which is a great change for us. I think when we look at Highlander, as you were saying, the 25 years of history, it was the first midsize SUV that Toyota ever had, the first hybrid SUV that we had. And so this is literally the next evolution and the next chapter in that story of it's the next Highlander, but it's also all electric.
Yeah. So first of all, just the styling. The styling is really different from the last generation. The last one was much more curvy, kind of rounded fenders. Really, I mean, there was elements of it that seemed to take inspiration from the GR Supra, and this one is quite different. So, what's the theme behind this one?
Yeah, I mean, I think this isn't your Highlander that you're used to in the past, and it's definitely sharper, more upscale and sophisticated. A lot of the design choices were actually made for aerodynamic purposes. So we had the chief designer here who was helping to explain, a lot of the shapes and the curves are to make it more aerodynamic as an entire vehicle, especially, how important that plays a role in BEV or EV vehicles and being able to have maximize your range for the vehicle.
Yeah, because you don't want the aerodynamics to slow the vehicle down at all. You want to be able to recapture as much of your kinetic energy as regenerative braking and put that back into the battery, just like you've done for almost 30 years now with hybrids. Yeah. So some of the main themes, you've incorporated the hammerhead lighting theme in the front here, as on most of the other recent Toyotas.
Yep, and you'll see that signature across all of our battery electric vehicles is that unified single DRL across the front. So it definitely, when you see this, alongside a BZ Woodland, it definitely feels like they're siblings.
And then, of course, because it's an EV, not much of a grill here, just the small openings in the bottom here to cool the battery, right? And then coming around the side here, the greenhouse, also very different. The sides, very, very horizontal kind of themes to the creases, sharp creases on here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think it's definitely a aerodynamic feel. I think, a lot of EVs in the marketplace, especially three-row EVs, they have to, compensate to try to make that space work. I really give a nod to our designer because they were able to find really sophisticated ways of making the interior feel open and spacious while still having this silhouette and profile. It's almost like a slingback kind of profile. And compared to the current gen Highlander, it sits a little lower, but it's actually longer and wider. So it's got a really aggressive stance to it.
Yeah, so it's about, I think about 4 or 5 inches longer than the old Highlander, about 4 inches shorter than the Grand Highlander, the current Grand Highlander. So it kind of slots right in between those two. About 2.3 inches wider, roughly, and then about 0.8 of an inch lower. Yeah. So a little bit lower profile for the aero, and it looks, when you look at it, especially in the two-tone finish with the black, it looks lighter. It doesn't look as heavy up top. It looks lighter, and it looks like the weight is concentrated down low, which of course, as an EV with the battery down low, it is anyway. So, and very smooth overall. Got the charging port up here on the right front fender, as Toyota has started doing since last year with the BZ. You've got the J3400 NACS charging port. So this position here makes it easy. You can reach the short cables that are on Tesla superchargers when you nose in. Yep. So that's a nice feature there. Flush door handles. This is kind of a controversial touch recently.
And I mean, I think, again, going back to that idea of aerodynamics and making a really sleek design of the vehicle. It's a functional aesthetic too of, it helps with that aerodynamic, but it also, just in terms of the look of the vehicle, it feels a little more premium, a little more upscale. I think there's, it's easy to use. Yeah,
it's not a retracting handle like some of the others that, those tend to be very finicky. So you just have a switch up in here.
Yeah, and it's, we think customers are really gonna like it.
Okay, and then moving around the back here, the rear lighting, I know when people first saw the teaser image a couple of weeks ago, shot from behind, some people thought that maybe this was going to be a pickup truck.
Exactly, yeah.
Because you've got this kind of shelf here for the rear lights around the corner here, and then contrasting against the black roof here. It's very, very clean, very modern design.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and our designer. Chief designer, he actually explained, when he was looking at the rear of the vehicle, he wanted it to feel sophisticated. So that's why he intentionally hid the turn signals into a separate element, and because he wanted to have this signal or the single LED bar all across the back to make that nice, clean look.
Yeah, and it does look very clean, very modern. And then the cargo area, there we go. Decent sized cargo area. It's a little, it seems, at least visually, it seems a little bit larger than on the previous generation Highlander behind the third row. We got a little more room here.
And again, I think that goes to, looking at the platform and it being longer and wider as well. It's made the third row definitely more comfortable for people like me who are, not the tallest, but at 6 foot, you still have enough room to be comfortable in the back. This actually even has the seats reclined pretty aggressively right now, so there's probably a little bit more room if we were to adjust those. And with the seats down, you have almost a very significant space in order to stow your everyday things.
Is there any additional space under the floor here?
Underneath.
Oh, yep. Okay.
So you have additional.
You can put your charging cables, and it looks like your cargo cover there, retractable cargo cover. So you can store all kinds of knickknacks down there.
Correct.
Awesome. One other thing we forgot to mention when we were talking about dimensions, the wheelbase is about 8 inches longer now. So again, that puts those, especially the rear axle, pushes that way back. So it helps with that third row room, makes it more spacious back there.
Sure.
All right, let's take a look on the inside now.
Cool.
All right, so that horizontal theme that we saw on the outside with a lot of horizontal lines, that extends in here too. It helps make it seem a little wider, a little larger than it is.
For sure, yeah. And there were actual, conscious decisions made in terms of the design of having, almost a 3-tiered shelf system here on the center console, which extends, you can see the color all the way through from the doors that lead right seamlessly into the kind of the front upper console area. Totally redesigned interior for Highlander. We have a 14-inch multimedia screen, which, is, at least for me, it is significant and gives you all your information that you need. We have our latest infotainment system as well, which has been well received. It's the exact same one that has recently been announced on RAV4. And yeah, this is, kind of your central station. And again, there were really smart decisions made in the design of this. So you've got incredibly deep cup holders. You've got wireless charging here in the middle.
Yeah, two charging pads. So.
And then nice ample storage underneath, utilizing the space. So yeah, I think all those things that really attracted people to the Highlander over the past 25 years, it's still those usable elements and things that people have known in terms of the nameplate, now in just a little bit more elevated package.
And it's nice to see we've got some physical controls here for some of the things like cameras, traction control, off drive modes, and so on. You still get your climate control on the screen, but okay, we can live with that. But one of the things when I drove the RAV4, that this new infotainment system that was really nice. The previous system was good, but it was limited. You could only show one thing on the screen at a time. You could have your nav or your media player or controls. Now you can have different configurations on the screen and have your maps and your media player on there at the same time.
Yes, exactly. And I love too how you have a full integration into your multi-information display here as well. So, being able to have an entire map take over the screen just, again, makes the vehicle really usable for the customer.
Yeah, and the materials, just looking around, the fit and finish and the materials on this, it also looks more premium than previous generation Highlanders. The soft touch materials, the combination of colors, it looks like a more upscale cabin to be in.
Yeah, I think, we have, for the first time in Highlander, ambient lighting. As you said, we have Softex materials. You mentioned the nice physical touch buttons. They've got a very nice tactile feel to them. Really, really, smart decisions made on the steering wheel as well. The two-tone, hey, our hands get dirty, so let's make the outside black. Again, things that trying to think of what would be best for the customer.
Yeah, and nice combination of physical controls on the steering wheel as well for all those buttons. So everything is single mode, and when you press a button, you know exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah, not overwhelming, but just enough to keep your hands, right where they need to be.
And of course, this is going to have the latest Toyota Safety Sense package on there, so a full set of driver assistance features.
Yes.
So TSS 4?
Yes, TSS 4.0. This the Limited also comes with a heads-up display, so all of your key information will be up there as well.
And you also get traffic jam assist on the Limited as well, right?
You do, correct.
So hands-free control when you're stuck in stop-and-go traffic up to about, 25 miles an hour?
20 miles an hour.
20 miles an hour, yeah. And a driver monitor camera there to keep an eye, make sure you're staying alert and paying attention.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And then, as before, it's a 3-row SUV, but now with especially the third row, definitely enhanced over the last generation Highlander. And so you've got customers will have a choice between, if they want a 3-row SUV, midsize SUV from Toyota, they can, if they're ready to go electric, they can go with a Highlander. If they want to stick with gas or hybrid, they've got a couple of different options on the Grand Highlander. So how do you think the split might evolve between Highlander and Grand Highlander going forward over the next several years?
I think it's really, the philosophy that we've had is all based around giving our consumers options based on whatever fits best for their lifestyle. And I think we look at Highlander as a family now, between Grand Highlander and Highlander being BEV. So, if a customer is ready and, BEV fits into their lifestyle, Highlander is great. But if maybe they're not ready for that, or, they need a little bit more room, we have gas and hybrid options in Grand Highlander. So we really feel that we have the full package when it comes to whatever our customer may need.
Okay. And when is the new Highlander going to be available?
So we're targeting early 2027 as far as when the vehicle will be available to customers.
All right. Oh, and we didn't talk about performance and range and the motors. So this is using the same powertrain, same propulsion system that's in the BZ and the CHR. So you get optional. You get front wheel drive as standard, optional all wheel drive, 2 different battery sizes. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. So this being the Limited grade, you get standard is our dual motor 95.8 kilowatt battery, and that has a range of up to 320 miles. In the XLE, you do get options. So the front wheel drive XLE has the 77 kilowatt battery, which gets you about 280 miles range. The XLE also has an all-wheel drive option available with that same 77 kilowatt battery. So it ranges it down a little bit, being all-wheel drive, so you're around 270. But then in XLE, you can also get the larger dual motor that we have in Limited, so the 95.8. and you can get that into, so the XLE all-wheel drive can also be 320 range. So again, thinking of presenting as many options as possible to our customer, depending on their price point and their needs.
And charging, how long is it going to take to charge this?
Yeah, so on a DC charger, you get from 0 to 80% in about 30 minutes.
Okay, and then AC charging at home, it's same 11 kilowatt capability that you have on the BZ and the Woodland, and okay.
Yeah, so it'll be on the larger battery about 8 hours, and on the smaller size battery about 7.
You come home in the evening, plug it in, morning it's full and ready to go, and do whatever you need to do.
Yeah, and we feel really confident too with, you know, either battery option. You know, you think about how that translates to a tank of gas. You know, you essentially have a full tank of gas every day.
Okay. And then you're not ready to talk pricing yet on this?
Not yet.
Yeah. That'll be closer to the on sale date.
For sure.
Okay. All right. Well, Tim, thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it. And we will keep you updated with all the details on the 2027 Toyota Highlander as they become available in the coming months, leading up to the on sale date early next year. But in the meantime, check out more videos from greencars.com right here